Bills fans, what is up? What is up? What a huge game, a victory that I was nervous about this game. I'm not gonna lie. Coming in, I was really nervous. I had a lot of trepidation about the New York Giants. They came in having gotten shellacked on the road against Dallas. Eric, what's up? Trevor, what's up? I was really nervous, and I just had a weird feeling in my stomach, and the way they came out and scored right off the rip, I was like, oh nah, here we go. This is the letdown, right? Everybody got this team ready to roll, go back home to open 2-0, and it was just deflating. But they go 3-and-out on offense. Defense gets a stop. What's up, Rick? I got two. I got four people in here so far, but three, all you guys studs, six studs. Everybody in here is a stud. We all hung like horses. Nah, but back to the game, and it just Bills right then and there. They put it. Allen touchdown, beautiful drive. It was a nice balance. They ran the ball a lot more in this game. They yeah, Trevor, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm just gonna do some game observations, and then I'm gonna go right into you guys. I'm gonna hit right with you guys. It was a balanced first drive. Beautiful. They was set up by the big pass to McKenzie. I felt like McKenzie wouldn't have slipped. He was gonna score. I thought he was gonna run right into the end zone. But the thing about that drive was the one pass Allen threw to Knox on the run was, oh my God. He threw a pass to Knox on the run towards the sideline. Allen's on the run. He just whips it. And it was just one of those throws that makes you realize, what's up, Matthew? That, wow, this kid has A+ arm. Like, his physical gifts are off the chain. They're just crazy. The third down conversions on that drive to Brown, one to Beasley. It was a sick catch. Beasley had to reach out and grab. Was ridiculous. The next drive, Bills go get another 3-and-out. That's the motor touchdown. It was a huge play. The pass to Brown to get out of the end zone, create some breathing room. Some BS holding call by Morse on that drive. I remember it was a clear out. Allen ran for like 10 easy yards. The refs were weird today with some of the penalties they called, with some of the flags they kept on the field. I just didn't understand it. It was weird. And yeah, Eric, man, he had some really good throws today that made us as Bills fans feel very optimistic about his future. And it was really good to see. I mean, the first touchdown, Allen runs it himself on that same jet sweep. They got a first down on it in the last drive against the Jets, and then this week they decided to use it inside the 5, score a touchdown, and it was them tying the game. Then on the believe it was the third TD, that was that little pitch, that little quick go to McKenzie. But those were the big plays in that series. And then the Giants end up going down. They look like they're going to get in the scoring range, at least field goal, and it ain't going to be on the stat sheet. What's up, Los? How you doing, bro? Yeah, man. But he's a guy. I'm going to get to a couple of those thoughts I have about Singletary, about Gore's utilization, and just about the team overall. The way the media here portrayed the Bills as well. And that pass that Hyde broke up on the sideline that ended up not giving the Giants a first down. They have to settle for a field goal attempt. Rojas misses it. This is where I start getting irritated. The Bills, I felt, were set up to go really put their foot on the Giants' throat right then and there. They could have. I felt like, you know what? You got the ball. You're going to get it to start the second half. Go down there and put this team away. Send them into their locker room down 24-7, 28-0 at home for their opener. You can really make a statement here. And it was a weird run play to Allen. I think there was a penalty on the next play. It was just a really bad offensive series. And it really pissed me off. And it was just a weird weird series. And then when they get the ball back on the tipped INT by Oliver, I believe, Murphy intercepted it. They knelt on it with 2 timeouts in 43 seconds. I'm like, come on, you can go get a score here, something, 3 points. That really pissed me off. Third quarter was just blah. Third quarter was trash. They couldn't get anything stabilized. They only got 1 first down, and I was starting to get nervous because the Giants was hanging around. They were hanging around, and then finally, of course, the Giants broke through. They scored. Bills that very next series put a big boy drive together. I mean, granted, it got extended by some penalties, but either way, they were able to go down there at first, get the field goal. They got the penalty, I believe, on Tomlinson for the head slap on Ferguson, and then they scored. Game, set, match. It was a really weird game. The one roughing the I love when offensive linemen go to their quarterback's aid. Ford took a bad penalty there, but you can't let people, touch up your quarterback after the fact. And I thought you weren't going live. Checked out the last week's stream before this. Oh, what's up, Corey? How you doing, man? Yeah, definitely coming live. And Lorenzo Carter, I felt like he put a little hot sauce on the hit to Allen. I felt Ford was completely justified in coming in there, and it got a little touchy. I was just hoping Ford didn't get kicked out of the game. He didn't get kicked out of the game, and even the one play, I believe Ogletree got chippy late and flung down Dawson Knox. I was like, yo, he's flinging a man down and going in for extra, going for seconds right in front of the ref, and then didn't the ref pick up the flag or something like that? That wasn't excessive. Like, he threw the flag, then picked the shit up. I'm like, why did you throw the flag to begin with if you're going to pick the flag up? But yeah, too many weird procedure penalties by the Bills offensive line, whether it was like the offsides, very rookie type mistakes. Oliver had a false start on defense. He jumped off sides. So there was some rookie mistakes on the road. And it was just bad stuff, man. I just don't like those type of, not bad stuff, but I just don't like those things. It just kills it, because I felt this team could have been really ripped to shreds today. And they went out and won the game tough, put the big boy drive together. The reason I like Gore's utilization is when you're punching a team like that, you're hitting them with those tough runs. Maybe it's 2 yards, maybe it's 3 yards, but you notice late in the game when the Bills needed to put a drive together, those runs started to get a little more and more. And when they put Singletary in there and then he started ripping them off, it was like that thunder and lightning combo that can be really, really huge. To me, that one punt Corey was on Bojorquez, he outkicked his coverage, man. You can't outkick your coverage like that and give a punt returner a running start at your coverage unit like that. That's football 101, bro. I was taught that shit in Pop Warner, man. You have to hang it high, especially in that situation. But overall, believe it or not, he had a good game. Even have given up that punt. Saran Neal played a really good game today, by the way. That's another thing, underrated. Saran Neal played a huge game. He made some really good one-on-one tackles against Saquon Barkley. He saved the touchdown on the TJ Jones return. He really played a good game. So it was huge performance for him in light of Teron Johnson's injury. But wow, that play to Motor scored on a touchdown. That was a beautiful play design. Beautiful play design. Lee Smith, I mean, he's essentially like having a 6 offensive lineman out there. He's a mauler. Like, he sets a beautiful edge. He caught a pass today from Allen, which was crazy. I was like, wow, Josh Allen throwing a pass to Lee Smith. That was a nice play design there, just to open up the game, make them think. Trent Murphy looked really, really good. He looked really, really good. I'm going to enjoy this week, talk about this game. But coming into this game, the media here, because I get inundated with fans and media. The Giant fans overall are pretty respectful, but there's a big contingent of the media that have the New York bias, the New York, we're New York. I'm a Yankee fan, so I can't deny that. And it was just like, you know what? The Giants need to go beat this team. This team, barely got out alive, turning over the ball 4 times. Their quarterback is still shaky, this, that, and the other. So there was still a lot of those leftover narratives about the Bills and their state. It's like they don't pay attention to the Bills. The Bills are a non-entity. They don't know how the organization's been completely turned over. The culture there is different. There's something tangible going on, and they're blinded by the skyscrapers here in New York. They really are. And it's crazy. So, and I was just getting irritated listening all week to Francesa. I mean, a little bit, Michael K acknowledged the Bills had a really, really good defense. But to be fair, Francesa acknowledged the Bills have a really, really good defense. But then again, on one side of his mouth, he says that they should be beat. But then he says he has a good deep. I'm like, look, I had no doubt the Bills weren't going to hold this game down on defense. And if you acknowledge they have a good defense at all three levels of the defense, you got to be worried if you're the Giants, especially being down receivers. One of your offensive linemen, I know Zeitler's shoulder, he was nursing it all week, kind of showed up in this game. But outside of the first drive, the Giants just kind of bumbled and fumbled. They really didn't do anything. Bills were able to really contain Saquon Barkley after that beautifully, and he's a very special player. In that second drive, when they put in Wayne Gallman on the third down or the second down, I was like, thank you. No worries there. He's not going to burn them for anything long. He's not going to, you can just kind of like watch him, but he stayed in for pass protection. And they got off the field on a tip pass, so it didn't matter. It was crazy today. They kept a lot of guys. There was a lot of 6-man protections, Corey. Today, I noticed that they didn't blitz as much, the Bills. They played a little bit more coverage. And they also Giants kept 6 in to protect a lot. I saw Saquon stay in a lot on pass pro, and he's a very, very good pass receiver. But even the one pass he did catch, I saw Saron Neal got out there and was able to clean him up. He only gained like a yard. I know he might have caught 1 or 2 more passes, but none of them were anything significant. But overall, it was a good team win, a solid win. Hauschka nailed all his PATs. Allen, I felt like he could have got that touchdown to Zay. I felt like Zay dropped it, but I didn't see the right angle of it. But they ended up scoring a touchdown to Gore, and Gore really runs hard, runs physical. When there's not a lot there, he does what Shady wasn't willing to do, which is stick his nose up in there and get tough yards. And he was able to break off some runs late in the game, 8 yards. But I think he got like a 10-yarder, and they were able to just salt the game away. That's not the Bills' fault, man. Whatever talent the Bills do or don't have, that's not the Bills. That's not the Bills' fault. Giants is just that's their fault. Like, I'm not gonna come here and apologize for Bills wins. I'm not gonna do it because I don't like that silver lining words looking for, hey, this, that, oh, the other team gets a consent. No, nobody gives anybody pity parties or handouts in the NFL. I didn't like it, Corey. I didn't like it. I didn't like the kneel at the second half. I have a more aggressive mentality. I get why they did it on the road. You're winning by 2 TDs. You're getting a score, but they did it twice, and it really, really upset me that they didn't go for it and get that touchdown and try to get a field goal. But they won the game. And Blake Bortles isn't their quarterback. Blake Bortles is trash. And that's why he's a backup quarterback now. And they just didn't want to risk anything. But I felt they were ripe for the picking. It was really, really irritating, that one part of the game. But outside of that, they won the game 28-14. The game was well in hand. And yeah, next week, we'll talk about next week. I really meant to come do a pregame video, at least record it and upload it. But I was so hammered with work and stuff this week, guys. I apologize I couldn't, but I knew that I was going to come in and talk to you all right after the game, and I really, really appreciate you guys dropping in, because it was a huge win. It was one that I was nervous about going in. I really had that weird feeling in my stomach we were going to see that weird Bills loss. You know what I mean? That weird Bills loss. And they're still a young team. I'm not going to indict them on one call or another. We can nitpick and stuff like that, which is what we're all doing right now. And that's fun to do in wins. Nitpicking is fun to do in wins, like in style points. But I know, Corey, I know what a closet Patriot dick sucker you are. I know. Go look at Do Your Job 3, where the Patriots have to become a ground and pound team because they're not a good spread them out team. They have to just grind it out methodically to get wins. You know what I mean? So we'll see. They lost. Bengals lost. They've lost 2 in a row. So what's up, Ronald? How you doing, man? They had to go back to old school, hard-nosed football, and you do what you can to win games. What's up, K Beats? How you doing, man? So let's not extol their virtues. They're coached by a rookie head coach. They're coming on the road to the Bengals, but this is about the Giants game. The cries for yeah, but they cheat. You know what? Nobody says that you don't have to respect them, but they do what they have to do to win games. So when the Bills do what they have to do to win games, acknowledge it and don't nitpick and bitch, because the Bills have had wins not come few. They've come few and far between. So let's not bitch about the wins. Let's enjoy the wins. That's, dude, first of all, I know you're not announcing anything. Second of all, we all know that. I said the same thing there. That was kind of redundant, but it's like the media who extols the virtues of everything they do. It's like, okay, state the fucking obvious, but they've also cheated. They've also been the only team that's been buying 2 first-round draft picks and all the other bullshit. So, but Allen looks really good in terms of his accuracy, happenings. He looks a lot like this accuracy thing that to me now is becoming somewhat of a myth. Like, I didn't see it. Even last year, you saw times where he was putting the ball on guys. It was right there. He was putting the ball on his guys. Granted, he had the weird miss here and there. He would have an errant throw. He forced some passes. Look at Carson Wentz tonight. Carson Wentz got picked off twice through some weird interceptions. Quarterbacks throw interceptions, man. It happens. But he looked sharp. The third quarter, not as much. I was irritated by that. But when they needed to put a drive together, he put a drive together. He made the throws he had to. The one third down pass to John Brown, it's like a 15-yard out to the sideline, a comeback. It was beautiful. He ran Janoris Jenkins right down, put his foot in the ground, came right back to the ball. Game, set, match. I was confident, so we'll see. You're talking about style points, dude. You're talking about style points. I'm talking about wins. I want wins. I don't care what shape or fashion. Do I want sexy stats? Yeah, I want sexy stats. I want sexy stats. This and that. They have more disciplined squads. I don't get what you're saying. Like, why are we talking about Marone and Gailey? Like, why? Like, this constant rehashing of the past is just, it's the past. Completely different organization under different ownership, really. So to talk about that is just, it's redundant right now. No, you don't need 300-yard passers. You need wins. You need wins. Week 15 was exposed. A rookie quarterback in New England against a Hall of Fame head coach, and his 10th start, his 11th start, something like that. He was exposed, according to you, Corey. Okay. So Again, your rationale for shit sometimes is beyond me, dude. They didn't win like the 85 Bears. They didn't win like the 85 Bears. They put up yards and points today. They put up 380 plus in 2 weeks on the road. Okay. And in the NFL, when you're the Bills offense compared to what the Bills offense was last year, dude. When you're the Bills offense compared to what it has been, that's good. Okay. That's good. So you know what? You start there and you build. You don't get everything like right tomorrow. It's a process. Not everybody gets that instant gratification, you know what I mean, in that regard. Those games come and they go. Could be the Minnesota Vikings and be paying a quarterback $27 million, right? To do what Kirk Cousins has done, which is throw 10 passes last week and a win, 85 Bears style, right? Yeah, we'll see. That's why we watch the season. We'll see. Different team, different people, different personalities, man. Yeah, he's a shit show. I mean, that's a 30-year veteran quarterback that just getting paid almost that money. That okay, if that was a Bill situation, I'd be fucking horrified right now. But I'm going to enjoy them being 3-0, 2-0. I'm going to enjoy them getting to go into their opener undefeated, and but he does what he does. He throws interceptions late. I'll give Zay Jones this. I'll give him props on. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Zay Jones breaking up that tip that could have been intercepted, and that's what I mean. There's a lot of plays that could go either way, bounces of the ball. I mean, the one tip that happened to Eli that got intercepted by Murphy. Those plays happen to all quarterbacks. It's like the one pass he just heaved up near the end of the fourth quarter, and it just hung in the air forever, but a Giant caught it. What a mess. So that's on that to just put that under the weird, strange category. Like, just what the hell was that? But then Poyer ended it, INT. Man, he's just behind the other guys right now, Los. He's behind Beasley, who leaked out, got open for one of those big gains, and he does that. Had a few key third down catches. That one leak out catch, that 53-yard catch, was massive, and that really helped set up that third touchdown. And he's able to do that, get those annoying catches. And I've really noticed Allen, he did miss Brown on the one deep ball. And it was just like, damn it, it was right there. What's up, CM Banks? And he's behind those other guys right now. It's early in the season. I think those deep shots are going to start coming. They're going to start coming, because I think they really have Allen just really focused and adjusted on the intermediate stuff, the stuff in between, I'd say 5 to 15 yards. That's really, they want him to work. And I think that deep stuff, it generally comes. Remember last year when Allen went in there early, the receivers weren't capable of running deep. I mean, Foster was on the roster, but he hadn't yet established himself, and they couldn't hit anything deep. Nothing. He missed Foster a few times on some deep throws, and those throws are going to come. How little these guys play in preseason. This is a totally new group playing together pretty much. I think they had 25 plus new players on the 53-man roster, and 20, I think, like some ridiculous number, like 20 of them were on offense, and they start and play key roles. So the whole running back room, a majority of the offensive line and the receiver, I mean, everybody except the quarterbacks, Barkley and Allen, with only 10 guys coming back. So this group has to grow together. This group really, really has to grow together. I was hoping they get Sweeney involved. I was impressed. Knox did have a drop. Third quarter, Allen was a play action. Allen hit him right in the hands, and it went right through his hands. It was a bad drop. I, I doubt he'll be out of the league, dude. I doubt he'll be out of the league. Made one catch today, but you know what? It's early. I'm gonna wait to see how many. The Giants got a bunch of garbage yards late. I think they ended up with like 370 or something like that. But a lot of that was just like that. I think they got like 60 or 70 of it on that last drive that just ended with them tackling the guy before the end zone. So there was a lot of baked in garbage yards in there that they got. So the Bills defense overall, they finally got a few turnovers. They didn't get the sack numbers. They didn't send as much blitzes. They played a little bit more coverage today. And overall, they played pretty well. I noticed Trey White was frustrated himself on a comeback. I think it was to Cody Core on the sideline. He gave up a third down play, and he slipped when he put his foot in the ground on the comeback. And he was really pissed about that. And he was like just really frustrated. But overall, they played really well. You know, Josh Allen is you know, he's looking like he's developing. He really looks like he's developing. He's getting himself, you know, established. You know, again, we have to take a step back. Today was only his 13th start in the NFL. His 13th start in the NFL. 13. There's so much more for this room, for this kid to grow and develop, and we'll see. We don't know who past defenses are until midseason. We don't know who these teams are yet. We'll know who they are in late October, November. That's who you know who your team is. That's when you know who your team is, what you have, and how good you are or aren't. That's one thing I've learned in football. You know, that's what are we supposed to do? Press fast forward, dude? We're supposed to just fast forward, Corey? Come on, bro. Be a little sharper than that. We've seen them the first 2 weeks. That's all we know. Yeah, how'd they look today? One played a tomato can, who's basically not an NFL team. The other played the Colts and lost. No, you can't enjoy what you've seen, KB. It's not at all. Not according to Corey. You can't enjoy it. Yeah, and the Bills beat the Titans last year in Buffalo. I'm not impressed with the Titans much. I'm not impressed with their quarterback. Didn't Rex go down there and beat? Now that's a different regime. Why am I bringing that up? But Corey, it's still a loss. Get that through your skull. It doesn't matter if it's by a point or 2 points. An L is an L. There's no asterisk. You talk as if these things have asterisks. Like you're supposed to get some sort of concession for not winning or by a certain amount or losing. They're the NFL. These guys are paid professionals. They get paid to play too. The Giants had chances today. Okay, good teams, they beat teams. So why do I have to be negative about this one? I feel positive about this one. And you just don't like anything they do. I'm not kissing the ground. There's plenty of things that I haven't liked. There's things I haven't liked. I didn't like the lack of aggressiveness at the end of the second quarter, at the end of the first half. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. Some of the offensive line situation with the rotating and stuff, I get why they do it, but I'm more of, you know what, let the guy get in there and get lathered up. That doesn't matter. CM, that doesn't matter. Dalton, Eli Manning was undefeated against the Bills till today. So remember that. Nothing is transferable. Things aren't linear. Okay? Doesn't matter. Yep. Yeah, those other teams were losers. Not when the past is completely different. Okay. I'll just keep watching and enjoy it. And I know the rest of you guys will too. Corey will in his own little way, trust me. Maybe in his own little way. Hopefully. Hopefully. So it's just like I don't I don't understand the negativity in a win. I'm not going to do that. There's things I didn't like today, but there's things I did like. They really need to start getting. I know why they're doing it because he's a young player and he's very, very explosive. And it was hot today here in North New Jersey. I don't know if you know this, if some of you guys went to the game or not or traveled down. Hey, what's up, Chris, Matthew, K Beats, all you guys, even Corey, Trevor, Eric, all you guys are great for staying in here. Then why do you watch? Don't watch. Nobody's forcing you to watch, Corey. You're watching of your own volition. So don't complain about that. All right? Be a big boy. You don't enjoy Bulls? Don't watch them. You bitch about something an awful lot you don't care about, so you're a liar. There you go. You know, come on. So that's it. Just don't watch. Turn off the game. Don't watch. You don't have to bitch. You don't have to have agita. There. Simple solution. Simple solution. But I understand it was really, really hot today here in North New Jersey. And I forget her name. I was told her name. I'm going to go look at her name. The sideline reporter for the game on CBS, Melanie Collins. She pointed out really something interesting on the broadcast. She said that the Bills sideline the whole second half was in the shade, and the Giants sideline was in the sun. And I was just like, and she said it was really, really hot, really, really hot over there, that they were huffing and puffing, and they really looked gassed. So I was like thinking, like, man, how did the Giants not know which way the sun falls in their own building and to make sure that their team would be in the shade side come the second half? So, you know, it was really interesting that she pointed that out, and I definitely think that played a factor. I just think, again, being consistent with Gore. He didn't do things sexy, but he was doing the things that McCoy didn't do. You know, that's just not McCoy's style. Just getting those hard yards, those tough yards. You know, fighting. There was a couple of times where I felt like he could have been stopped for a little less, but he kind of like went forward for more. Even on the touchdown too, he ran over the guy that tried to tackle him at the goal line. He ran him over, put his shoulder down. So, you know, don't worry. I'll let you all curse and have your say. It's okay. Everybody gets their say here. Nobody usurps anybody else. Yep. I've been fan for 30 years. You know, it's a nice one-two punch. They tried to incorporate T.Y. Yeldon a little bit today. I noticed he was in a couple of times, particularly split out as a wide receiver. So I'm going to see, interesting to see how that continues forward. But look, this team next week is going to probably get Andre Roberts back. They're probably going to get Croft back, maybe. Let's see. We'll see how they incorporate those guys if they're able, but they really, really need Andre Roberts in there because they need to start. There's 2 weeks in a row the Bills have started off drives pinned with their backs pinned in the end zone. Andre Roberts is back there to return those kicks or some of those kickoffs. You know, we're looking at way, way better field position. It wasn't a big issue today like it was against the Jets, but those are the little things going forward that they're going to need in order to win, because let's be honest, the Bills aren't a finished product. They can't afford mistakes and stupid, silly penalties like they had today in the second half. They just can't be doing that to themselves. It was a little frustrating. I was getting annoyed by it. Those little procedure penalties, they really, really got to clean those penalties up, because that's not what winning teams do. They shoot themselves in the foot, but they were able to overcome them. You know, Micah is just a punt safe guy. That's not really his forte, and I don't want him getting injured returning a punt. Micah is just a guy that they trust back there with the hands, and that he's not going to fumble. So, and Knox is a way better blocker than I thought he was. I honestly thought he was just more of a receiver, but Knox is a way, way better blocker than I thought. What's up? What's how you doing, man? They tried to get Sweeney involved today. He really didn't have much going on. it was more of a wide receivers game, running backs game, and that was the way that the cookie crumbled, and they were able to get the win. Man, this team is really, really exciting right now. Just having a young quarterback, and just to hear Allen after the game, how conscious and aware he is to say to that reporter, like without even hesitation, look, I play in New York. And actually they were in Jersey. The Jets and Giants are in Jersey. They're Jersey based. Their headquarters are in Jersey. One is in Florham Park, New Jersey. The other is right in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So it was like it was funny. Yeah, sit back and watch, but it goes both ways, dude. You have to sit back and watch too. You're just sitting there saying, "Oh, they're gonna suck no matter what, and it's all gonna fall apart." And if you tell other fans that, they're gonna jump on you. You can't have an opinion, and if your opinion riles people up, and not expect backlash. Just like me, if I come on here and I talk, right, I expect anything. I expect anything. All right, I've been called a fag, a dick sucker. Look at your fucking hair, cut your bangs. I've been ripped to shreds, and I still put my face up here. You know why? Because that's what I do. Those people ain't hurting me. Just enjoy the game, bro. This ain't Madden. You don't get redos. There's no perfect play. It's not fantasy football. And I think too many times there's fantasy football. But where you come in, Corey, is that you're this cynic for everything. Everything is cynical. Everything is this underlying cynicism to everything. There's no positives. There's nothing but doom and gloom on the horizon. The team is going to fall. Wait till they play. I've seen plenty of vids talking to the team. Yeah, prior teams, not this team. Okay, not this team. This is a different group of people led by different men. Okay, that's it. I didn't say they're going to change overnight. I just got done saying they're far from a finished product, right? I just got done saying they're far from a finished product, you know? So they need to grow. They need to grow. So that's just the way of it. But let's get back to talking football, right? Let's get back to talking this team, because the defense to me looks like it really has carried over from last year to this year. They really, and I was worried about that, because defenses sometimes they have a drop off, they have a lull, and they were able to play, pretty good football. Matt Ryan just threw a really bad interception in the end zone, right to Nathan Geary, not of WGR, but of the Eagles. That was a real bad pick. And yeah, the Bills aren't going to get respect until they consistently win, until they consistently play, and if that's the way, the way you're putting the Titans on a pedestal, dude. They're not this great team that you think they are. And they do need to go and be competitive against the Patriots. They do need to beat the Patriots at some point. They just can't live off. But as of right now, I'll take 2-0 going back home to open up at New Era. I'll take that in a heartbeat and run with it. So, that's just the way I'll do it. That's the way I feel about it. So nobody's being harassed, dude. There's no victimization here. That's cupcake shit. You're on the internet, man. You're fair fucking game. You should see me on Instagram and Snapchat. I let it rip. That's fine. They won a playoff game. That's good. He's Russell Wilson like. Whoa, Corey, you smoke something over there, bro? Ugh. I gotta go to a game. I don't want to go to a game here because the tickets are ridiculous, man. Today, to sit up in the upper, like fucking bowl, part of the bowl was like 200 and like $50. Plus there's like it's like 45, $60 parking if you don't have a season ticket pass. Ugh. So I was not interested in playing in paying all that money. I could sit right here in the comfort, um, you know, in the comfort of my own place and enjoy the game. Come on here and talk to you guys. Um, and then I really want my first regular season Bills game to be in Buffalo. That's what I want. I want my first regular season. Yeah, it's a way better experience. MetLife Stadium sucks, man. MetLife Stadium sucks. And I'll give the Giants fans credit. They came out tonight. They came out today for the Giants way more than the Jets fans. You've heard how like quiet it was last week for the New York Jets. They're not a rabid fan base. They're not a rabid fan base at all. I just want, either way, if the Bills go 3-0, people say it's against bad teams, blah 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 blah. But if they lose, see, they can't get they just have to do it consistently. They have to do it consistently. That's what I mean. They just really have to do it consistently. So that's all. And I really hope that they can keep up this win streak, as short as it is, and just build, stay competitive, and build. All I ever ask of the Bills is that they're in every game in the fourth quarter, whether they're behind or ahead by one possession. And they've given me that, and they've won. So I'm happy. I know they're not going to win every game. That's not real life. So hope, not that I don't want them to. I want them to win every fucking game. Every time that team puts on that uniform, I want them to win. And in any way, shape, or form. I used to be obsessed with style points as a kid, and I wanted them, to have all the fancy yards and stats and all that stuff. And yeah, but they haven't, and that's kind of what we're living in. But so far this year, they've made improvements, they've made strides. And I'm really, really happy with that. They really have made offensive strides, and it is good to see that there's progression and growth. Unlike, EJ Manuel, where, they went 2-0 in 14, Bears win away, win at home versus Miami, and you still saw EJ just missing passes. They were scared to put the ball in his hands. This is 2 games in a row. Allen's thrown for 30-plus passes each, and they've won. It took Tyrod forever to do that. I think he didn't do it till 2017 under McDermott. So there you have it. I mean, even with Tyrod, this team was able to cobble together wins. And there was rough spots. There have been rough patches, but they've been able to overcome it and stick together. And he did, Chris. I felt like he called a really good game. I was just upset at the lack of aggressiveness at the second half, at the end of the first half, because I felt there was an opportunity there to really put the foot on the throat. I understand on the road why they chose to be a little, but me, I'm like, you know what? You got to instill that confidence and just go for it. Go for it. And he wouldn't. And, that leads to no interceptions, but no big plays. And that's one thing I do like about Allen. He seems to be very, very willing, ready, and able to take those chances and throw the football down the field with a lot of aggressiveness. I mean, he was looking for those shot plays today, man. I mean, there was some plays that he was really, I think he had some stuff underneath he could have hit on, but he was really looking to rip them apart downfield. And I just wish he would have let some of his receivers catch on a little more, just to nitpick. I mean, overall, he had a really solid, sound performance. And I know most Bills fans are pretty happy with it compared to where they've been in the past at that position, how bad, and it's just not, they weren't taken away. They were either traded or they left via free agency, meaning they chose to leave and the Bills couldn't re-sign them. And Goodwin couldn't stay healthy anyway, at least in Buffalo. But he threw it deep a little bit, but when he had to, he didn't. He didn't. He just wasn't good enough. And that's why he's a backup now. Good teams, bad teams. Look, teams have been winning divisions, beating bad teams for years. So we'll see. Robert Woods is a really good player. I really wish I was watching him play today. I really wish they could have kept Robert Woods. But he's out there in LA doing his thing, and just wish him the best. He's a damn good player. There's still Nate Peterman apologists, Trevor, believe it or not. There's still people who apologize for Nate Peterman. What a good guy that fucking guy is, though, man. What a nice guy he is. How could you, he's like the kind of guy you want your daughter to bring home. But, yeah, it is a scary position. It is horrifying. Zay'll come around. Zay'll come around. He had a rough start. Yeah, Eric, I agree with you. I trust the coaching staff. I trust the front office. I trust the way that they've spun the organization. They really have. They've changed a lot of things there, and they've changed things that were rogue all over the building. When I made that video about them needing to fumigate the building, burn down the building back in 2014 after Marone walked out, I meant it, because the problem wasn't just Marone. There was a lot of wild animals in that building that have their own agendas, have their own self-interest at heart, and not the teams. Because that's what the product is. That's the product. That's what it's all driven by, is the success of the football team. That's what it's driven by. Nobody gives a fuck about this, that, or the other. Wins and losses. But so far, so good. To start off the year 2-0 was a good start. There was a lot of it could have been, the first game especially could have been horrific. But the balls that the team showed to come back and win, and even today when they needed to put a drive together, and go down there and score to go back up by 2 touchdowns, they did. Granted, it was helped along with penalties, but so what? That happens, and they won, and they were able to get it going. And most of that was running, not passing. No 300-yard passing games, Corey. Remember, that's your big thing, those 300-yard passing games. Shit, I want to see 500-yard passing games. I want to see something like that. But the throw to Brown was incredible. The throw to Knox was the one that really wowed me. Go back and watch that throw. If you guys DVR'd the game like I did, go back and watch the throw that he made to Knox running towards the sideline. It was a beautiful on a rope pass, 18-yard strike. It was a thing of beauty. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Thank you all. I know it gets chippy in here sometimes. Corey, you pessimist. Trevor, Chris, Jordan, Matt, K Beats, Eric, Los, Trevor, Ronald, CM, Chris Beckham, Adam Bowman, all you guys, thanks for coming in so much. Again, I wish I had all the guys, your names in here at one time so I could just see it. Ronald, a shout out everybody who comes in here and spends their time, man. I want to see a 300-yard game too, man. I was thinking Allen was going to get it today. I really thought Allen was going to get 300 yards today. I was like, oh man. I really was thinking he was going to get that. So I was just like, oh man. Corey, I just don't know what you're talking about. Kool-Aid drinkers and all this ridiculous. You're just going off on tangents, dude. You need to get more fun out of life, I think. That's what it is. You cite Mahomes compared to what, every other quarterback in the league. He threw for more yards in one quarter than most quarterbacks in what that includes the league, dude. So what are you talking about? You feel bad? Don't feel bad for nobody. You need to feel bad for yourself and enjoy some football. That's what you need to do, man. All right, guys, have a good one. Take care. Go Bills. Have a good week. Good start to the week. It's always a good week to go into with a Bills win. Love you guys. Take care.